Thank you, Father, for being the just measure of things and knowing that there's nothing happening by chance and there is no luck or there is no free will. So knowing that you create all things, that gives me the strength every day to get up, to be lifted. And I know it's you that lifts me up because I have to do what you did. I have to conform to your image. That's what the scripture says. Follow after me, do what I did. So conform, being like a mirror to like replicate, not like a non-player character, It's the reverse. Satan does that, no skin in the game. Not supposed to know, not supposed to wrestle not against flesh. Remember what Father through, because he created, there's no free will or no man-made. So this is gospel based, and I know that my mind, the gospel is all that my mind is focused on. I know that by faith alone, that if Father didn't create Paul's writings through all of the gospel, through Paul's writings, I wouldn't have the strength to be here today. And I know that, again, through Paul says, wrestle not against flesh. To be saved, we have to endure. We have to die in the last trump, shofar, the seventh horn will sound, and the dead will be raised at one time. There's only one judgment, final trump. So, but I'm not here to turn a goat sheep. So I thank Father for his writings, creating all the gospel through Paul and through Matthew, again through Paul telling us we must conform to the image as he stood against the beast, the government, and the law, and the church, responsible for more death than anything on this rock. Well, okay, well, another Jesus. How about that? There's your church there. How about Church of Jesus? Christ is a pagan, and Jesus is a pagan term. These are pagan translations of what he told us not to do. Don't add or take away, because otherwise you're going to turn into pagans or Satanists or occultists or Masons or whatever your flavor of adding. So don't add or even take away of the smallest. Or take away your name. Oh, you had your treasure here while you had your 31 flavors, didn't you? You little like a lollipop with your religious, but you didn't sup with my word. You didn't have a taste. You're gonna gnash teeth, wanting a jot or a tittle of that taste of the aletheia, the truth. Because he said, I am. Be comforted. Peter, we've all been Peter, phileo. I am. Remember he said, I'm not asking you, Peter, if you phileo me, do you agape me, Peter? So, not for me to decide who. All the hearts of men is filled with wickedness, men and women, the bride, the ones he'll call out. Those are his, yeah. There is no feminine. Father has no flesh. He had to birth a vessel to fulfill the feminine, man and woman, Jew and Gentile. So I want to give it the news, north, east, west, and south. Don't add a jot, like a circle. Now people are spinning on it. Spinning on a circle like the Saturnalia, the worship of the the Masse. Masse is the eating of flesh, the Masse. He doesn't want us to Masse, spin around and round, like the Yule wheel, the feast of the Yule. He doesn't want us to feast or sup with the vipers. How about that? was a snake before you let me in, then he let Joe Biden. Watch out. Remember? 2 cheeks to the same hole, 2 wings to the same dragon. So he's the divide. It's the word habrizo. He's the one who separates the flesh from above, not again. Again is once, to be born. Remember, the birth. He doesn't want us to celebrate, especially birth. Birth dates. Don't celebrate dates on the calendar. That's pagan. Paganism. Celebration of a calendar, the Yule god or the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. You spin me rice round. How about that? He said, don't sup, whatever, fishers of men. You are what you eat. So he said, don't, one bad apple upsets the whole apple cart. How about that? A little leaven leavens a whole lump. So, lump. So, all right, well, remember, we're not here to sup with the vipers or cast my pearls before swine. Father already chose, he already knows from the foundation of the world who his bride, who will be called out in the Lamb's book of life. So thank you, Father, for doing it by the number, and always give you thanks, give you all the glory, because you're the creator and the writer and the author. And by self-will, we'll edit our name out of the book of life, the book of remembrance, only if you fear the Lord. Can't serve 2 masters. That's the word Lord. Another pagan term. We'll use it for Christ. Another pagan term, sake. Remember, they staked him to a stock or a yoke. What's wrong with these people? Their dialects is foreign, alien. How about that? Alien. They have an alien dialectic. Dialectus, loss of tongue. Like a viper, a snake, 2 cheeks to the same dragon, 2 wings, 2 cheeks to the same hole. Ice hole. They like to trade lightsabers in their ice hole. So, in fact, it's cold as hell. So here I am, one day closer to death. Yet I must die to self daily to be a disciple. Only those who, remember Paul said, wrestle not against flesh and blood. So we're not wrestle. That's our biggest enemy, Matthew. Remember, a man's enemy is to be the one of his own household. I am my own worst enemy. By self-will will I blot my name out of the book of life. Life. He said, I'm the habrizo, I'm the separator of that life or the light that you speak of. Life. There's life, but they can't have life without light, correct? I separate. I'll put you in the dark. Can't have light without dark, can you? You're like a mushroom, been fed in a bunch of crap and left in the dark. Little psilocybin. Oh, my bad. Somebody must be microdosing. Dose. Must be can only take micro doses of me, I guess. That's all right. Remember, you only have to be a member, not a subscriber. You don't have to have a membership in here. Remember, it's a big club and you're not in it. I don't sup with vipers, cast my pearls like fishers of men, like fly fishing. Don't be so animated. Play a little poker. How about that? Poker face. Poker eyes. Poke his eye. Pokemon. Get you falling off a cliff. Push you off a cliff backwards. That's a stoning. What are you rolling? Like a stone? Was this some caveman dialect here? Dialectus glossa, like an alien. Alien is a tongue. It's a foreign tongue. There's no such thing as aliens. Why do people think there's an alien? Because they believe in Bigfoot. How about that? They believe in God and they believe in Jesus and they believe in Satan. Well, Jesus is Satan. remember? The sun god Mithra. So you can't turn a goat into a sheep. What are you here to do? You're not supposed to sup with vipers. You got snakes and sheep and goats and Leviathan, that crooked serpent in the garden. How about apples? You know anything about apples? How about you take a bite of that apple? You know, as a snake, remember? Before you let me in, and then he let Joe Biden. Careful. He said, don't sup, don't break bread, don't cast. We're supposed to be fishers of men, remember? You're not bringing anybody to God. That's not what that means. You're supposed to just share the light. Remember, he said, I am the original, I'm the separator. The light is the word. The word is the word horizo. How about Hokadesh? That's the word, the spirit. He created all things. All this was spoken into existence. What is it not? The word flesh, that is Shiloh. The one who redeems at the wedding feast of the lambs. The one who said before Abraham was I am. That really pissed off the Pharisees, didn't it? I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on, huh? All right, well, no. Meek, not weak. See, there's a difference, isn't there? There people are weak in the word. Word is ghost. Hokadesh is ghost or spirit. So there's no such thing as a ghost. Father is ghost. If there's a father is ghost. So no Ghostbusters. Why are you trying to ghost bust? We got a Michael Jordan slam dunk 23. Aliens put me in a box. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? Gonna be Marvin the Martian or some slime creature from outer space? Booger? I don't know, whatever color you are. But that was a Revenge of the Nerds. Remember Booger? All right, my bad. You guys aren't. Nobody said a word. For a momentarily lapse of reason. Are you real or are you AI? Hey, somebody said something. Jessica said, Jessica Rabbit? Is that like Roger the Rabbit? Some animated television, some digital get down because your dialect is foreign like an alien, glossa dialectus or tongue. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. You can't believe in Jessica the Roger Rabbit. And get caught in a trap like a snare, leg trap. Memories of the snare that lifts us out of here. Oh, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Next thing you know, you'll be having sex with your kids. Remember? Oh, that wasn't Jessica. That was Semiramis. My bad. What's all that with Roger the Rabbit? Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. The New Year's does not start in the middle of the winter. Now stop it. You're whistling while you work. All right. Oh, was listening. I saw whistling. Apologies for my eyeballs got blasted in my right eye. Remember, the eye is the lamp of the body. So if it's filled with darkness, the whole vessel, the whole lamp, the whole, I remember, the light, it's filled with darkness. Right on. You guys are just wandering. I like it. We got two wanderers in here just doing their thing. That's good. You guys do your thug thizzle. Never mind. I don't like the Snoop Dogg. Remember Snoop Lion? What a sellout. Yelling Compton, but you move to Riverside. Oh, we got him unhooked, don't we? Oh, whatever. That's my stomping grounds. Remember? Born on the hill in the valley. I walk in the shadow of the valley of death. So we're supposed to die to self daily. So good stuff. I'm just not taking a deal. So this all could have been done and over with if I'd have just taken a deal. Acquiesced, conform to the system, bend over and take it deep. That's not pride. Christ stood up. You have to do a bigger cause, and whatever happens, happens. Oh, you think I'm worried about 3 hots and a cot? It's me that I'm concerned about. And, it is what it is. So you'd have to know the situation here to right? Or to overstand. How you overstanding? How you living? In living color. Are you going mad? feel like I might be, but I'm not. No, I'm not mad. What am I mad about? I get mad at the Creator, but I don't get mad at nobody. His Father's perfect timing, so He does all things after His counsel. Well, tomorrow is 540. Oh, a year and a half since what I'm mad. I'm a little mad that I didn't go on the road, but I'm still okay with standing up for my son. Oh, they're going to throw me in jail because I was standing up for my son or whatever happens. So what? It's not a loss of time. So, no, I'm not mad. I'm all right, no matter what happens. Remember, I could have already taken a deal, just so you know, Sabrina. I could have taken that deal. This, not the sweetheart deal, get out of town. That was our first. But the second was, we'll just give you a misdemeanor. That's it. Go along. Could have been out of here, out of the country already. Psst, see you later. Bye. I'm out of here. I'd get a misdemeanor for whatever. The country let me go. I don't have a record. I don't want a record. I didn't. Bull snot. I don't have whatever. Father's going to be the only one who I have any fear of judgments is Father. And Shiloh, actually, because remember, I need his covering to stand up against perverted law. So what they've done to my son and daughter was perverted. So I've thought about it. I was thinking about it before I came in here. I was supping with Father going, man, are you being prideful? Because you go look for your son. If they throw you in jail, you can't. No, whatever. I just have faith in Father. You don't want me to look for my son anymore. I already called the police. Remember, I already called the state troopers in Josephine County. I already tried to do everything I can do. I've called out on here. Why do you think I come on this platform? Maybe just one person will hear me, right? I guess I'm over that too. Nobody's going to hear me. It's falling on a deaf ear the whole time. So Father's going to do whatever he wants with my life. So I can't change that. Elijah's, Adriana's, whoever's done whatever they've done in this case is going to have to answer at measure. Remember, he'll pour out a just measure. The measure you pour out on others will be returned, poured out back on you. He'll pour out a just measure when he returns. But people can't equate, remember? So they don't do the math, remember? They're about the Mexican Americans or whatever. I'm not insinuating, some kind of, but it just doesn't add up. How about that? So thank you, Father, for that. Just like zero, none. So what kind of priest do you meet on Sunday? None. So thank you, Father, for the ability to have the strength to get up every day, knowing that what they've done to me, my son, and my daughter it's in violation of the law. Does it mean that I go break the law because of it? No, I haven't broken any law. I know that I still have the right. So whatever they do to me is Father doing it, not even if they wrongfully convict me. You think people don't get wrongfully convicted? So yes, they do. So I wouldn't be the first person if it happened to me. So it'd be Father doing it. So here I am, standing there going, I told somebody today what they're offering. He's like, take it. I'm like, no, I told him no, take it deep. He's like, you're crazy, dude. I'm like, whatever. Because he knows how much they SWAT raided his house. So they did. This person I know did in this county. So they know who it was. But I'm just saying. He's like, dude, you're nuts. I'm like, whatever. I got faith, remember? I'm not trying to be something that Father. So where I was a year and a half. Year and a half. Whoa. Thank you, Father, for the ability to just still be here. So something flashed up on my whatever of Elijah, put a picture of his. You've seen the same profile picture I put of me and him from when we were they were like a Chuck E. Cheese illustration or something. He went in some little photo booth that made a illustration or whatever of both of us. But he's pretty young then, but he's 26 now, and that's what parents do. You don't stop taking care of your children, when they're turn 18. So remember, to be a child of God doesn't have anything to do with age of actual years on this rock. It's maturity and Hamashiach and maturity in the word. So I know my son loves the word. I hope he loves it as much as I do. I'm a lot older than him, so how could he? But I know he does love it. He's already shown me that. I think he's shown Father that. So where he's at, I love him a lot. You know what I'm saying? whatever happens, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. Whatever happens, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. So I have a court date in 6 days. So tomorrow will be 5 because, this day's pretty much the day's done. So all the birds are fed and the chickens and the animals and the dogs and the cats and the farm duties are done and got wood in the wood stove. And he went and bought a beer. I don't drink a lot of beer, but went and bought a beer for why not? For one beer, it ain't gonna kill you, So just sitting here, just kind of hanging out and going, okay, Father, year and a half tomorrow, this Twilight Zone life that you've given me is torture, but I still love you. I'm not going to turn my back on Father. And if I go get thrown in a cage, I'm not going to, I feel okay that standing up, Christ stood up to the word, perverted. Word was the Torah was the law, but whatever it is, I apologize. My soul is eternal, so it doesn't think like most people do on this rock. So, but I feel better knowing that no matter what happens to me, that I didn't take a deal. I don't want to willingly let them do something to me willing. I have to agree. That's what they get everybody on. Oh, I agree to take a bargain. Please, please extort my merchant number. I don't do none of that. You know that. I'm accountable because I know I have the best of the knowledge of the things that I say. So, and that I share here with you. So you're not accountable. You probably weren't in law enforcement and understand the Constitution and studied, the decades that I've taken and been given a bounty and abundance of time to trade for knowledge. And so I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I think I can handle my own with any scholar, biblical, doctrine, medical. Bring them in here. Bring them in. Bring them in here. Bring them in the chat. Let's see what they got. First, let's see if they know any gospel. Let's start with anybody who thinks they know the gospel. Most people don't know Jack Diddley Squat. They know Jack and the Beanstalk, a bunch of hocus pocus, Christmas, Jiminy Crickets, Disney. Walt. They got a Disney Jesus, all there, whatever it is. It's animated. I'm saying it's not. There's no reality in the Word. Father is the Word. In the beginning was the Word. This is all created with the Word. That's called Torah law. Not religion. So I rebuke religion, and I don't like religion. You know that if you're part of this ministry, I don't. So bring your biblical scholar. We'll shut them down real quick. And it's not me, it's the word that will shut them down. But I do have an abundance of, thanks to Father. I can't give enough to his, bounty that he's given me of time. So I can trade that for the knowledge. So I can share it because we're here with you guys today. I don't want to be anywhere else. It's hard. I hate this life. I hate this world. I hate what it's become. I hate what this country has done to every other nation. I'm not the one that stands down as the silent majority. I'm the one that does be the, that annoying vibration, that pounding, that sensation in your ears like an algorithm that just keeps, like a wave, a cycle, like a wandering Jew in the desert. It's intense. It's tabernacles. But you have to be in the Word here to be a part of this ministry to understand the dialects. Most people, it's very foreign and alien to them, but it's because they don't study the Word. I'm not trying to raise myself or be prideful or rise above anybody. I'm just some dude in the desert who loves the Word. Father made me that way. It's all I have. Without the Word, I'm nothing. Just some meat suit that eats and shits like a digestive tract of crap of the world, in and out. But whatever. You do you, I'll do whatever I do. I'm not trying to get anybody to be like me. I don't want anybody to live what I'm having to go through right now. We have our own living nightmare. I hope you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm all right with it, though. You know what I'm saying? We got 3 today, 5 yesterday, or something like that. I think, yeah, 5 yesterday, 3 today. So they're still cranking them out, So gave some to Kevin, made Kevin eggs because he's been staying over here the last couple of days. So I've been burning out making scrambled eggs and over medium instead of easy. But I've been kind of liking a little bit of I told Kevin today, I was like, It's been a long time, but back when I used to eat chicken, uh, not, um, oh yeah, they're still cranking them out. I got good feed in them, and I'm trying to keep them warm at, at night, and they're not totally warm, not like that. I don't put no heat lamp in there. They don't need that. That's not good for them, actually. But uh, anyways, what is it? Hire a court officer attorney out of county, subpoena court records, whereabouts, credit, next motion, discoveries, commercial court. No. No, that's Michael. Listen, I know how the courts work. Okay, I've been a prior law enforcement officer, and I'm not going to sit there and play their silly reindeer games. I've hired an attorney who works for the bar. Okay, I'm a prior PIG, law enforcement. I've been special weapons and tactics trained, prior reconstructionist, investigator, all that. Was a military police in the army, quite boisterous with the Constitution, and I'm not even trying to. I wasn't arrested under a capital letter name, so they've got nothing on me. That's why they don't know what to do. So we'll see what they do here in 6 days. So I have organic rights. Remember, natural rights, color of rights. The color of law, Black's law. So I know my rights. I only answer to Father. He's my judge, so I'm not trying to can be concerned in Luke 12:11. Any man in a black or magistrate or synagogue or any of these courts, kangaroo. I know this system quite. They didn't even charge me under original revised statutes, or not part of the original Constitution. So I'm not a capital letter name. I only operate in a private capacity. I'm not some sovereign citizen. I don't claim citizen or state national, none of that nonsense. I only have one judgments that I'm concerned about, and I'll have a covering if I stand up to this provision of what is known as a corporation. So you can't exercise anything under this unless you actually, and I know I have from the beginning, I was not arrested under a capital letter name. I've made it very clear that my name is not all in capital. I've exercised my right of subrogation. I put the courts on notice of liability of both criminal, civil, and emotional damage in this, physical, civil, because I am violating civil. It's separate. You got to know your rights, but people don't know their rights. But my right not to sue is because I don't want the county to suffer for the residents that have supposed citizenship or residency in these states, which are not united. They're a corporation and they're sold on the stock exchange. So don't try to, assert rights that you're not going to be able to hear. The courts won't hear any of this. They're not, remember, they're deaf because you're operating under different between legal and lawful. So although it sounds, like good for some people who think they can become sovereign or above the law, there's no such thing as above the law. But I'm not under a corporation or don't consider myself any part of this. I don't even have a capital letter birth certificate, and I can prove that, through record that I was never part of the court. I have had a commercial license, and still, been part of the corporation, but I don't participate. I live off the grid. I don't do what 98% of the populace does. I don't have a dialectus, especially when it comes to linguistics or logistics of the law or legal or lawful. Under this is a corporation, not even a constitutional republic. So you can't. Their system regarding how to speak in the motion. Your question? No, that doesn't. Yeah, I've already done that my own, so I'm not going to allow you to stand in here and confuse everybody, because I do understand what you're saying, but I've done that my own. Okay, you have the right to take over power of attorney or your merchant number. You're not quite understanding. This is Queen's law, merchant law. Unless you're willing to talk about this, I want you to be quiet and stop talking, because you don't know any here. Don't pitch any of that in here. It's a little too, either talk about the gospel or go somewhere else. There are channels you can share what you have to say, but I'm not, and that's good that you're doing what you're doing. I'm not saying, but you're not going to get anywhere in these courts. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hire their office. I've taken over power of attorney in open court with a judge who told me I made my record and exercised my right of subrogation and took over power of attorney in my capital letter law name that they try to put me under, right? Legal, not lawful. Remember what they're trying to do to me under. I have to say that I'm this capital letter sold on the stock exchange so they can sell my labor, my birthright, my merchant number. So don't talk about anything if you can't talk about that, because you're not getting anywhere with anybody. So you don't hire an attorney. Do it your damn self. And I've hired, in this case, I've hired somebody who works for them. Like, during, World War II, they're like, hey man, how did you survive World War II, man? You were a Jew and all that, but I became a Nazi. So I hired a Nazi attorney who works for the bar. And I'm not taking a plea bargain. If he takes me to trial and I lose, oh well, I'll answer to Father. But their system is all corrupted. So it's obvious. But you don't hire anybody. You can, but why? When you can stand in your own behalf and take over your merchant number and exercise your right of subrogation, take over power of attorney, put the courts on notice that they're not even operating in judicial capacity. They're not. Article, 3, right? Articles, there's different, understand your rights. Remember, there's different rights under the Constitution, different things between Bill of Rights. Remember, constitutional, even like actually people think right now that people, because they're not here and have some kind of piece of paperwork, that they don't have the right to due process. That's your 5th and 4th Amendment. They're going to come in under your 6th Amendment under right of trial. They're going to bring you under some kind of criminal right. That's your, remember, that's, what right is that? 6th Amendment. Right to fair and speedy trial. If they're going to exercise your right to, they're going to exercise the right to accost your body. That's your 5th Amendment. That's your Miranda. They can't accost your body. Your 4th Amendment. You have the right to be secure in your house, papers, persons, effects. You don't even need citizenship to have those rights. Correct? No, you don't need citizenship to have rights under the Constitution. See, people are idiots. So don't hire officers and be some idiot to hire. That you could, but that's not why don't you just do it yourself? Exercise your right of subrogation. Take over power of attorney of your capital letter law. Then they can't take and extort your merchant number. You're still allowing them to do that, but you are still hiring that outside. You're hiring to stand. It's called your straw man. No matter what, you understand what's happening. No matter what, it's all title. Remember, all these article, title, remember? All these things are different under, remember, there's legal speak, legit, all these things they do to people is because people fall under this and allow themselves to be like a mandate or a code or an ordinance. Those are all for businesses and corporations. You can't be charged under a code or an ordinance or a mandate. Those aren't legal, nor are they lawful. Well, they would be legally under a corporation, under a business. See, a business is a capital letter. Capital letter, that's what they've done. They've turn you into a merchant number, and that's your capital letter. When they charge you under, remember, what are the original charges that they're going to charge you under a 6th Amendment, take you to trial? Remember, statutes, the original statutes. Oh, we have statutes now, right? Yeah, the original statutes, right? Revised statutes were not adjudicated through the House, Congress, or Senate. You think they're going by anything that now? No, this is a corporation. So you think you can go in there and be sovereign or some of this nonsense that people say. You're not going to get anywhere with the courts. I know since the beginning I've exercised that and haven't gotten anywhere. I haven't been thrown in jail, been being threatened to thrown in jail. But I don't care, because I know that I stand for what it's called perversion. Froward is the Hebrew word, to change or twist or add. I'm a United States Army veteran. When I took an oath to the Constitution, it was for the right of the people to choose, not under some corporation. I didn't know that. So what? I still took an oath to that. So when I take an oath that says, do not quit your post until properly relieved, I'm not going to leave and exit that. So I know that I have these organic rights. There were laws of the land, difference between legal and lawful, that have always been here, like the right to travel. All this nonsense that you have to have all these licenses. You're going to tell me that you need a license to travel on a road that's paid for taxes by fuel. Your taxes don't pay for roads. Your taxes pay to kill people in other countries. They take it a long way around. And again, even if you were charged, are they charging you under the article, right? No, statutes, the original statutes. The statutes under the original, right, which are your 6th Amendment, right? Statutes. Which statutes? There are revised statutes. These are statutes are under, remember, which people don't. So what's this? You're going to go in a system, and what are they charging you to begin with? If they're not charging you under the, remember, third article court, which is judicial, if it's a first or fourth, and there's only 3, it's not judicial. It's administrative. It's all a big kangaroo court. So I'm not sure why people speak the way you do, because you're not going to get all state nationalists and all that. Remember, revised statutes, no matter what they're charging everybody now, unless you're actually charging you in an Article 3 court, an Article 3 court, under the original statutes. Remember, what are the statutes? Well, those are the statutes under your, remember, a revised statute. What is a statute? Remember, Oregon revised statute. That's what they're trying to charge me with right now. I'm facing 6, 7 charges in the state of Oregon. The state is trying to charge me. That's repugnant. You have the right to face your accuser. They're not even allowing my son or my daughter to be there at my trial, at my own trial, which they were in the vehicle, who I'm being accused of stopping and letting the cops from arresting my son, who will not be even there at my trial. He's in my discovery. The suppression of evidence, remember, all your rights. You have Miranda rights. Your right, if they're going to cost your body, remember, anything you say can and will be used against you, do. Anything you can and do. How about can? So, I thought they killed your son. You dumb motherfucker. Who said they killed my son? They shot him, but he is alive. Now, he could be dead, and it wasn't they who killed him. It could be Marshall. It could be the state police. It could be Josephine County. Okay, there was a question mark in there, but, go back and it's all there. You know what I'm saying? My son will not be at my trial in 6 days. Do I think he's alive? No, he's not going to even be at my own trial. How could he be at my trial? He's on my discovery, as well as my daughter. So it's not just my son, but my daughter. So there's nothing I can do. Like I said, it's a clown show. So if you're going to try to apply these, these people try to apply rights, the courts ain't going to hear you at all. This is some kind of constitutional form or republic. It's not, it's a corporation now, and they don't hear anything. All they're trying to do is extort your merchant number, period. If you don't know the difference between legal and lawful, you're not going to get anywhere with them. And I haven't. Now I even have an attorney, and he isn't even calling me, and he's part of the bar. And I paid tens of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I think he's alive because someone would have told you otherwise. Well, you don't know anything about my life, Eli. So you think somebody would have told me? Who would have told me otherwise, Eli? And that's fine. Who would have told me? You think he's alive. Well, what proof do you have to prove he's alive? I have like 98% of the proof to prove he's dead and murdered, and they won't even take a report. And if I get out of this court case, I'm going to go right back to Josephine County, the ones who threatened to come arrest me, and report him murdered again and start all over, Eli. So I appreciate you coming in. There's nothing wrong with playing devil's advocate here. I like to hear all sides of the story. I didn't get what I know because I got to stroke my own ear, my own fancy. So I'm okay with that. But I think you're not right. I want him to be here. I don't want him to be dead. I don't want him. He should be, I don't mean to go there like that, but a millionaire. He shouldn't be struggling. He should have the things he wants, and he don't need money like that. He's not a guy he wouldn't have some crazy life if he had money. He probably opened some small shop fixing cars. And I think he said he's over that. Kind of. He doesn't want he's done this, modification of cars, and he's made his living by doing that and keeping himself out of trouble by having dirty fingernails and dirty hands. Dirty hands are an honest man's hands, and he hadn't gotten in no trouble. So somebody who's alive wouldn't even say, who would say? You don't have no friends, you don't have family, you don't know anything about Elijah, you don't know anything about Adron, you don't know anything about me. And that's fine, because your little circle, you probably think you have acquaintances in your circle. Elijah doesn't have friends like that. I don't have friends like that. His lady obviously doesn't have friends like that, because why hasn't his wife family contacting me? Why hasn't his own mom contacted me? Why hasn't his wife's mom, my daughter, I have a reason, she's in this situation. Why haven't they had any contact with me? Why has nobody had any contact with me? So how would he be alive with no contact? And that's fine. Nothing wrong with playing the devil's advocate. But I think if my son was alive, even if he hated me, he would contact me by now. A year and a half has gone by tomorrow. 547 days. Last time I saw my son's, his hands were in the air being shot, and you can hear it in the live stream. So, you know, appreciate your conversation, man. Don't have any issues with what you said, but I don't know. I don't have proof of that. I don't need proof of something. Oh, faith. I have faith. So I have faith that if he's alive, because Father is keeping him alive and he's somewhere and he's doesn't need the money. He's okay. Elijah's not going to chase money. He never has. He's never been that kind of guy. He's not that kind of guy. He's a grown-ass man, and I love him because he's a good dude, and he would give you the shirt off his back. And he was young. He shared, and he shared his time, and he shared the word, and he loves the word. So I'm open, Father. He's like Elijah. He escaped, not, I'm saying he escaped judgments, but he escaped death. You got to keep faith in that, but I don't have anything to show. But if this court date comes up and I beat this case, I'm going to be calling that probably next day, Josephine County, saying, I need you to go look at this address, which I've already reported. I don't need to go into all of it, and we'll start all over again. I'm not going to stop looking for my son. I already said that. So do I feel bad if I go to jail? No, I'm going to do my time. And when I get out of jail, I'm going to go right back to looking for my son. It doesn't matter how much time they give me. I can't get that much time to begin with. I don't have a record. It is what it is. It's just Father doing it to me. So I should have known better. Father's going to put me through the test no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way my life is. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute menace and harasses me daily. But I don't know. See what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to be. It's not Sam Birch, though. It'll be Lance Brown. I was screaming Sam Birch, but it was Lance Brown. Carl, I love you, brother, for saying that, though, because Lance Birch. He's the one who put everybody up to this. He should be there. He's the one that was watching all this. He said that on his stream. You've been there for a minute. You know what I'm saying, Carl? He said he was watching all this. He's kind of the one who put all this together. Lance Brown is just a cop that happened to be there the day when we, just met at the same. That wasn't luck, man. That was Father's perfect timing. It has to be this way, guys. It just has to be this way. As much as this sucks, it has to be this way. I don't care if I go to jail. I want to go to jail. I don't. I'm trying to make other arrangements, you know what I'm saying? Not plans, but so you know what I'm saying? So it was Lance Brown. He didn't get out of the car and go, shut up, dude. I'm Lance Brown. Get on the ground, you dumb motherfucker. Felony traffic stop. You just alluded. No, he didn't. Elijah didn't even speed away from him or nothing. He followed us forever. Almost all the way back to the house, man. That was such bullshit. It wasn't. It was Father's perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't tripping. It's been an emotional roller coaster. I know. I apologize. But, dude, I got a son that could be hurting right now, dead. But wouldn't you want to go look for your kids if they were hurting or dead? Or it's just an instinct, man. I'm an animal, man. I can't stop taking care of my son. You think it's because he turned 18? He's a good dude. I love Elijah John Werner, man. I miss him a lot. And I'd already told you guys, I don't know if I'm ever going to see him again. So it's not up to me. I've done everything I can do as of now, and I got to just either beat the case or get through the case and file an appeal and go back at it. I'm going to grind it out. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to file the lawsuits, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to file the lawsuits. I have to. I have to hold them accountable. They're going to get away with all this, guys. Not like that, but they need to be held accountable. So that's what the lawsuits do. It's my negligence to not want to file the county. Here's what I told you what I'm going to do, too. I have some confidence that I can beat this case. So does my attorney. He's not going to call me, guys. What the fuck? My attorney's not even going to call me, guys. He's not going to call me. I'm going to go to court on Monday, and he just called me before and what's going on and show up. And he told me he doesn't even think I'm going to testify. You know what I'm saying? No, he's not gone, Carl, like that. You know what I'm saying? There's no obituary for him. There's an open warrant for his arrest, Carl. Okay? Everybody's always that, and I appreciate that. Obituaries and open court. No, there's an open warrant for his arrest. It's an open case. You know what I'm saying? There's no obituary for him. No, there isn't. Or Adriana, or, you know what I'm saying? That's not what's happened here, but I appreciate it. And he's not in custody, because I've had people ask me that. Well, go check all the. I've had people contend. There are some people who do, and he's not in custody. And I've just got it. His bail has been taken from him because there's an open warrant. I mean, I have a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That's $25,000 that I paid, you know? So it's a nightmare. Like I said, you guys, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, you know? I'll make it through it, but there is some kind of day coming here, which is 6 days that this will go to trial, or they'll back down right before trial and say, oh, no, we don't want to go through trial. We can't produce the officer. I might even show up there, and the officer might not even show up. Lance Brown might not even show up to court. So, you know, he's going to have to testify. Why didn't he get out of the car? Why didn't you get out of the car? Why didn't you identify yourself? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you say something to him? You know, and why didn't you say that you're not Sam Birch? You know, so the whole case is it's watched any of it. It's hard. It's a nightmare, but it is what it is. Hold on a second, guys. I went and got some steak from the store. We went and got tacos today, and they had a little bit of steak, but they were saying they were murdered. Yeah, well, I don't. Obviously, Carl, I reported that, okay, and the evidence that I have. So until they'll go investigate, all I have is the evidence that I've. You know, hold on. I'm gonna go outside for 1 second. I'll be right back. I want to get it. I got this steak. Save a little bit of that for tomorrow. It's so yummy. That was made from the steak from the store. I know Pam's got a couple pieces, huh? Isn't that yummy for the boy? Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to crack the store. It's getting a little warm. Oh, that's some good steak there, Pants. Some yummy. All right. Went for tacos, and I got some steak. They had a little bit left, and they didn't put it. Kevin ordered it on his. I just ordered regular tacos, like a taco salad. But I asked the manager, I'm like, hey, can I buy that? There was only a little bit left. Can I buy the rest of that? How much? And she's like, I've known her. She used to work for me at the bar. I hired her to work for me at the bar when I ran the bar. But she's like, it's the end of it. It's supposed to be gone by 2 o'clock. We're just going to throw it away. You can have it, so. I saved for every bite, so I apologize. I had to go get some steak. Oh, that's so good. Steak. So what's for dinner? So yummy. But I've eaten like 10 or 15 pieces. I'm going to try to save it for tomorrow. Make some steak and eggs in the morning. Steak and eggs are one of my favorite. What are you doing? Are you trying to say hi? Are you trying to say hi? Come up here to say hi to everybody. What do you want? You're trying to paw at the dad. What are you pawing at the dad for? I love you. I gave you more water. Berkey water. You got Berkey water in here. Yeah, he's alone. Apologize, picking my teeth here. He's being a good boy. He was a good boy today. Went to town with Kevin. He rode in the back with Marcy. Marcy P. Oh, Marcy. He knows who Marcy is. Oh, no, she's not here. And got to hang out with Chewy. And there we go. Oh, he knows who Chewy is. Huh? He's a good boy. So we got to get some pupping time with other puppets today. Even though Marcy nannies him. He knows who Marcy is. Ears go. So, you're a good boy. And we've been getting Nugget's been coming over here and eating all the food. And that's fine. I don't care. But I've been going, damn, that cat food. I've been putting more food in there. That stuff disappears overnight. And I know there ain't no mice down here eating it. You know what I'm saying? I forgot Nugget's here. So he comes over here and Kevin says he'll just eat the food until there's no tomorrow. So, but I figured out why my food keeps disappearing now. I've had to feed him like 3 times a day now, an extra whole. It's like feeding Tango. I mean, they eat those. He eats as much as having like Tango here. That one between those 3 cats now, it's like having Tango back when he's there. I don't care. It's just one more can. I do, whatever. It's a whole, almost like a soup can, about 2 cups, more 2 cups a day that they all share. But that's okay. I like that he's over here visiting with Yasher. They tangled last night, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I found it's not the mice that are the thief. It's, so I've been throwing some extra. But Nugget comes over here to visit with Juniper. He's in love with Juniper. He loves Juniper so much. He does. He loves her. And that's kind of like Yasher's, and Yasher ain't, because he's fixed, but, and they're friends. They love, you've seen them. They hang together, but it's good to have Nugget here because, it throws a little, it was good to have him here last time when Kevin left, whatever, and took him back over back where he's from. He went all the way back to get him. Drove a long distance to go back to get his cats. That's badass, I love brother Kevin and his other kitty. He's got a female kitty, and she stays over there at the cabin where he's at. But Nugget comes over here on this 4 of the 40 acres to come. What are you doing? So, but anyways, it's good to have another cat out here. So a little more dog food or, whatever, because the good stuff though, and I feed them. So they love it. And that's what Kevin feeds them. So it's the same thing. It's the same diet that, so he comes over here to eat instead. And I'm sure he eats over there too. Kevin says he's a freaking chow hound and he's not a small cat. He's a good sized cat. So, I'm thankful to have him over here because the other, like I said, Yasher, and they tangled the other night and got in a fight, but it wasn't some huge. Yasher's standoffish. If Yasher would not be so standoffish, but this is Yasher's territory. It's been his since he's been here. It's hard for him to let another cat. They scrapped for a while and they got it figured out last time. They did. I mean, they'd still, but nothing major. We heard about the other night. They were, hey, got it up, and they stopped. So they're gonna have to be here. It's farm. It's a farm. It's all one farm. So they're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's all one farm. It's not like I said, Kevin's place is part of the farm and my place is part of his. And so they'll figure it out again. And they did last time. So it's cool to have him here because Nugget's such a good boy. He's a real, he kind of was mean when Kevin, not like that because he's a cat. He's kind of feral, but he's not. He comes up and he let me pick him up and love on him. And he's a lover, man. He loves to just love, and he is, and I'm glad because Kevin went back and he left him there, not like he was alone because there was people. He has somebody on his property. He has 2 houses, so to look after him and make sure, but plenty of food. And then he had his neighbor lady who was bringing up food that was watching his other cat. It wasn't like he got left there alone. You're fine. The kitties know I'm talking about that. You hear that? They're out there talking. If you ate all your food, I can't feed you no more food today, guys. You guys have been eating like powerhouses. It's starting to slow down. I'm gonna have to tip them and give them a little more food, obviously, when winter and there's no more. But it's been mild out here. You know, there's still mice out here in December, which is, you know, November, you know, going to be December, which is awesome. Still a lot of varmints and rodents running around, and so they get yeah, we got the kitties in the background because they know we're talking. They know what I'm talking about them. They swear these cats are as smart as the dogs. They are. They're so smart, man. Cats are freaking intelligent animals. They're extremely. And if you treat them good, like I treat my cats, I feed them the best food I can and love on them when I can and let them do their thing out here. They take good care of this property. I don't have a mice problem at all. No rodents. A lot of people have rat problems in this valley. Pack rats. You know what I'm saying? People around me have pack rat problems, but my cats have always been that equalizer to make sure that they don't get around this. I have no signs of mice. Dead mice. Dead mice. No, that's not nice to laugh at, but the only sign of mice I have around of any of these buildings is dead mice. You know what I'm saying? They get them in and out of all the yeah, I dig my cats, man. I am so glad that I didn't have cats my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because, man, I love them now so much. They're such a big part of my life. They are. I'm a farmer. I need them. I need them to keep the rodents down. Otherwise, I get my eggs stolen. You know, it's stinky smells and from mice are nasty. They piss all over everything. Their smell is disgusting. I can't stand mice. I'd rather almost like just crawl in a box and die than to be after around this hear mice go. Even in my house, even if it's just a little, I rather hear the wind blowing all cranking and clacking. But if I hear one little and it's quiet and I hear a little mice chewing on something, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I don't want to be alive right now. Get that mice. I don't like mice. I don't like when they make noise when I'm trying. I can sleep with all kinds of noise. You know what I'm saying? Noise doesn't, but not one mice. Not one mice in my house chewing on something. I don't want that mice in my house. I gotta do that. So my cats keep that away from me. So I love my cats so much, man. They're an essential part of what I do out here at the ministry. So I treat them really good. So if Nugget wants to go in between here and this, you know what I'm saying, these 40 acres and rub it and do his smell all over here, I'll feed him some more food. You know what I'm saying? I'll give Nugget some more food, even if he almost eats as much as Tango, because I told you that the dogs eat as much as Tango. And Nugget eats as much as Tango alone. He does. It is what it is. He's only he's not a small cat. He's probably 12-pound cat. I think he's probably around somewhere. He's 8 or 9 or what? No, probably 10 or 11 pounds. You know, somewhere in there. He's not a small cat. So he eats as much as that big dog Tango. You know, my big puppy that I had, and that's cool. That's what Kevin says. He's just kind of a monger. You just so. It's the lamb and rice, man. They love it. So they love it, man. It's good for them. So if your cat, you know, every cat that I have, Kevin said that he gave some to that guy that he has over here now and his cat didn't like it. And I've never had a cat that didn't like it, you know, because it's lamb and it has all the, yeah. No cat. Serena, they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? There's cats that don't live at one house too. People don't. No, they don't do that here, but they kind of do that between these 2 properties because it's all one. So Nugget's playing the game. He's eating over there and he's eating over here. And Kevin feeds them open a lot of food over there. It's okay. Kevin can feed his animals more. I don't like to overfeed, and I don't think he overfeeds. Marcy's not overweight. Neither is none of his animals are overweight. They all look healthy. Marcy's a little chunky, but that's because he went back to Colorado for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And she got spoiled there. Otherwise, she back out here and she's gonna start leaning down again, right back to her. But I like having them here. They're such a crucial part of the having them. Go bounce between these two properties, which is all one. You know what I'm saying? The 40, um, the 220s that are separate, it makes it worth it. So I'm thankful again that Kevin, he's got really good cats, and I've seen how much he loves his animals. His cat is old, let's say she's super old, like 18 years old or something. Chewy's like 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? Kevin takes good care of his animals. You know what I'm saying? And when I got him switched over to the Diamond Lamb and Rice, that's all his animals eat now too. You know what I'm saying? And they're even better. His skin coat. He's like, hey, look at her skin coat. I'm like, I know, she's beautiful now, huh? Not that she wasn't before, but you can definitely see a difference. So, I'm thankful to have the cats here. They're such a huge part of. Cats are amazing animals. I love cats so much. I really do. I love my Juniper girl, and you know what I'm saying. But don't be surprised if your cat is playing you for a fiddle and has like 3 places. If you live in a neighborhood or something, like Sabrina said, come feed that cat. They do that at multiple locations. Cats live at multiple houses. They do. You think your cat disappeared? No, they don't. They're just staying over in another house that somebody feeds them over there and gives them love over there too. Gives them the love over there. It is. Cats will do that, especially if you live in town or near, in more of a suburban or city, not in a country. Cats do it in the country, between these two properties. But cats have sometimes 2 or 3 houses that they visit. Sometimes when your cat's gone, and people know that if they have that cat that's kind of an outside cat that comes and goes, some people know, that their cat's gone. So, yeah, no, cats are just, oh, Father, thank you so much for cats. These cats make my life so much better because I couldn't have any animal. I couldn't have any rodents. You know what I'm saying? I can't do rodents. I can't do mice. I can't do, not my house. I don't mind if they're outside the house. They can do everything they want, but they don't even allow them anywhere near any of the buildings. And again, Juniper goes over there and they go to the back of the property. So these cats police all these buildings. They do. They police every building that I have out here. And it's spread out on 40 acres. These cats wander this property. So I love my kitties, man. Father's just given me a bounty of things that I could never even imagine that would have ever been given. I'm seriously, I have just been given, my kitties are wonderful. You see, they follow me around. When I went over to Kevin's earlier, the cats follow me over there. They almost act like dogs, so. But thank you, Father, for creating all things. Dogs and cats are some of the most amazing animals on this rock. And there are some other amazing animals, but we've seemed to domesticate the dogs and the cats more than any other species, as a whole. So they say dogs are a man's best friend, man or, man or woman, so. They just want to be loved and are eager to please. And if you give them what they need, they will treat you. You can't get that out of your kids. You got to kind of raise your kids until they're at least 11 or 12 or, somewhere you kind of let go. Not totally, but, you're kind of done. You ain't raised them right then. By then, I don't know if you agree with me, by 11 or 12, before they quite become teenagers, they're either going to they're going to do whatever they're going to do as a teenager. They are. It ain't totally up to you. You've done what you've done, but, it is, what I'm saying? These cats are not like that, and dogs. You raise them for a couple years and you give them all the love they need, and they'll give you unconditional love and be eager to please you for the rest of their lives, man. You can't get that out of people. You can't get that out of people, guys. You see what I'm saying? Animals, if you treat them right in the beginning and don't beat them, even like a pit bull, will never bite you. A pit bull is a perfect breed to show people that if you raise an animal wrong, it could take years of undoing what happens to the breed of pit bull. But pit bulls have not a negative or mean bone in their body. Pit bulls are not mean dogs at all. I reject that. They are not. If you raised a pit bull correctly, you could beat that dog with a crowbar. You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of little punt, there, but and it's not gonna, it just will sit there and it, a little child could climb over his head, grab its ears, and be ripping at the dog. It's gonna be like a pit bull. If you raise that pit bull incorrectly from the beginning and you beat on it, it's gonna take a long time to undo it. Listen, if you raise an animal correctly, you know what I'm saying? That's right, but you know what I'm saying, Sabrina? If you raise that dog correctly, it's going to give you the rest of its life being eager to please you. I'm a dog breeder, remember? I'm a dog breeder. It's going to be eager to please you for the rest of its life. So you put in a couple good few years, and you can't get that out of a kid. Even some of our kids, even when we raise them right, they turn our backs on us. You know what I'm saying? It happens, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But dogs generally don't do that. If you treat, or a cat, if you treat them good in the beginning, and take care of them and give them the basic necessities and keep a kind of a structure, they will give to you for the rest of your life and be eager to please. You can't get that out of people, guys. I like people until they open up their mouth or start talking or, start, well, whatever. Dogs and cats, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, but that's my point is that, I love my animals because you give them a few good years, and for the rest of your life, you have just this beautiful animal that wants to be with you and be eager to please and lay in the bed with you if you want, or lay next to your side, or whatever habit, lay next to the fire, whatever their deal is. And, they just are eager to please you for the rest of their lives. That's amazing. So, um, I'm thankful for my animals. Thank you for all, Father, for these beautiful creations that you make. Man's best friend, dogs and cats too, which are extremely smart. My cats are smart out here. You've seen them. My cats are very smart out here. They act more like dogs. They follow me around. I have such good kitties. God, I love my kitties. I need these kitties to be a farmer, right? So thank you, Father, for a good farm cats. Yasher, you know him. He's a savage. He's such a standoff guy, but I love him too. What a cool cat he is. The craziest personality. He's kind of standoffish. He don't like to be pet at the food bowl or water bowl, or he will let you pick him up out in the yard, but he don't like it for a long period of time or anything. So, you know, he's kind of the unique cat. I love that cat too. So he's caught so many birds and rabbits and weevils and sage rats, and we're in the desert. So thank you, Father, for creating um, me to have kind of a phileo, for these animals. They're good. You're supposed to be good stewards of this rock, correct? He said, we're given dominion over the animals, the animal kingdom, right? So, man, cats and dogs are a special breed. I think Father definitely had his eyes on us when he made these species. You know what I'm saying? The canine and the feline. So, but, anyways, I thought I'd pop in here. Like I said, it's day 547 tomorrow. So, a year and a half, guys. A year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's going to go Father's way. So, I ain't tripping. So, I don't want to stay in here too long. Like I said, I just going to come in here for a little bit. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit of a disconnect right now from the world. Not totally, you know what I'm saying? Not you guys, but, so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's a year and a half, guys, since I see my son. Father is just definitely testing me, showing me, trying to get me to, you know what I'm saying? Um, straight. I won't. I love him so much, and I love you guys. So I just want to give you an update and let you know I'm okay. And I could have taken the deal, but I don't want to take a deal. I feel better even if I go to jail that I stood up, not out of defiance and being a rebel, because that's what Christ would have done. So I'm trying to be an example. I can't be the pastor again of this ministry. As I said, I didn't ask for that, and take a deal after all this time. Come in here and tell you I got faith in Father, no matter what happens to me, and He covers us. And just because I'm trying to keep myself out of jail or try to get Elijah to look for him sooner, no, it's perfect. Father's time is perfect. So thanks for being a part of it, guys. I love you so much. I love this ministry and having this. Um, you guys are my brothers and sisters that I'll be with after I die. You know, I didn't have that before all this happened. So if Father took something from me, He surely gave me an abundance and abounding in another area. So He's the equator. He'll pour out a just measure when He returns. I sold Kevin the land, guys, so I'm going to be trying to get a pickup here soon. I don't have the money I need yet, but I'm not going to buy a pickup without I won't want to pick up with 100,000 miles. I'm not trying to be picky. If I'm going to take this ministry on the road, I need the funds. So I sold it to him for half price, guys, half of what it's listed for, and I don't feel bad. Even less, even less than that. It's what I had into it. So I don't want to I don't want to make money on Kevin. Just like I sold him the land next to me, and I'm glad that I didn't. I don't make any money on him. I'm just trading an asset. So I need about another $5,000 to probably get to where I can purchase a vehicle with under 100,000 miles, and that's near new. And I'll wait. I might, who knows? In a week, 6 days right now, Father, could be, I could be going to jail or something, and probably need to tuck that money away or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a cheap purpose, but I need it more than it's my new house. Not like that. I don't need, it's my wheels, it's my horse. So I have other things. I'm going to try to get the Forerunner sold. I got other things. So anyways, I'm going to get off here. Looks like Kevin's showing up here, guys. Appreciate it. If you want to support the ministry, you can do it through coming back again. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to get off here, and I'll let you guys get back to you, even if I don't want to give you an update on what's going on. Okay, so hit that thumbs up button if you want to. Comments, that's the best way to support the ministry, is not through monetary, it's through leaving comments. And because the comment section is the ministry, I'm just one of 23,000 or something. I'm not, I don't make the ministry, you guys make the ministry. I might go to jail. I'll talk to Kevin about that if it happens, and I don't think I'm going to go to jail. I'm pretty sure he'll bring it up if I'm gone. I told you he probably won't show his face. He's not afraid to, but I'm sure he can come in here for a couple hours, at least once a week or something, give me an update on what's going on. So I'll let you guys go. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.